Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from. The county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Sunday. And the Sunday Nation has this headline: why Junet is under siege in Raila's party. Who would have imagined that in January 2024, we would be reading such kind of a headline in one of the biggest newspapers in the country? Which means this story is actually intended to achieve a particular political objective. Let me just read for you part of this story, which is very interesting. This is what the story says, if you open it here. That falling out with Raila, why Junet is under siege in ODM party. Let me just go verbatim what the story is saying. A task show cause letter asking an ODM politician who was unmistakably the most powerful man in Azimio leaders Raila Odinga's inner circle in the run-up to the last presidential election to provide an explanation about his absence in the party's activities within 7 days has laid bare an impending fall from grace. So according to this paper, Junet Mohammed has been issued with a show cause letter to explain why he's been absent from ODM activities. As a matter of fact, on this channel, most of you guys have been asking me about the whereabouts of Babu Owino, and I'm going to call him today to ask him about his whereabouts. And the article proceeds. In the run-up to the August 2022 polls, Suna East MP Junet Mohammed's life revolved around hopping from one helicopter to the next in the company of Mr. Odinga. So the second paragraph is already telling you that there's something. That some people are not happy that Junet Mohammed was the one around Raila. And the truth is, Junet Mohammed, in my view, did the best he could for Raila Odinga. Let me just proceed. He wielded immense influence and had a near final say on who spoke at Azimio La Moja One Kenya coalition rallies, where he usually acted as the master of ceremony. Now that's true. Junet Mohammed was very close to Raila Odinga. He attended almost all his political activities. He was the master of ceremony in most of those activities. And it proceeds. He literally ran the presidential campaign with the blessings of Odinga to the extent of ruffling feathers and edging out some of the former premier's long-time close allies. This is where his problems are. There are people who are not comfortable by the fact that Junet Mohammed was now the person Raila Odinga was listening to. A few years earlier, Mr. Mohammed had stamped his authority as Mr. Odinga's undisputed confidant during the surprise March 2018 handshake with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, publicly declared as the steps of Harambee House, where he was the only politician who accompanied the ODM leader for the historic cruise. Remember, someone like Jimmy Wanjigi actually left Raila Odinga because Raila Odinga entered into the handshake without informing him. But Junet Mohammed accompanied Raila Odinga. Some of them could not believe that Raila Odinga could actually go with Junet and not them. And I don't know whether, it proceeds. Had Odinga won the race and formed a government, Mr. Junet would have become a member of his kitchen cabinet. Mr. Odinga trusted him to the core, according to narratives by people in their circles. The truth is, Junet Mohammed played a critical role for Raila Odinga. If Raila Odinga had become the president, Junet Mohammed would probably be the minister or the cabinet secretary for interior. Although when I spoke with him during those campaigns, he told me for him he's not interested in that position. He would have gone for something else. But this position appears to be fast changing. Mr. Odinga has apparently given the go-ahead for a letter that threatens disciplinary actions against Mr. Mohammed, which could include firing him from key party positions. The third-term lawmaker became a subject of discussions during a meeting of the ODM Central Management Committee, a top party organ chaired by Odinga, on January 10th. The meeting, apart from discussing his absence from the party activities and meetings, also disbanded the NEB, which was directly reporting to Junet Mohammed, a man in charge of as the man in charge of elections in the party. Other officials in the meeting included Sifuna, ODM Deputy Party Leader Wycliffe Oparanya, John Mbadi, and Opio Wandai. The officials accused him of continued absence from key party organs and parliamentary group meetings, consequently undermining its agenda both in the House and outside. Mr. Junet serves as the serves as National Assembly Minority Whip, as Azimio Secretary General, and as an ODM Director of Campaigns and Parliamentary Affairs. So, in a letter dated January 11th and addressed to him, ODM gave Mohammed 7 days to explain his absence from party meetings. The 7 days lapsed yesterday. By the time of doing this video, I'm not so sure whether Junet Mohammed responded to the letter. But from the story here, it seems the ODM Central Management Committee met and they agreed to write a letter to Junet Mohammed for being absent from some of the key party activities. The question that I wanted to ask, why Junet Mohammed and not others? Because Junet Mohammed is just a mere director of elections in ODM party. Where's Joho? Why is nobody questioning Joho? Because Joho is one of the deputy party leaders. Why Junet Mohammed? It means there's a story behind that headline. So in this video, I want us to look at why that story made its headline. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without your support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Let us begin by looking at the responses so far. And I want to pick responses from 3 people: Caleb Amisi, Hassan Joho, and Olekina. This is what Caleb Amisi posted about this headline. Whoever is sponsoring such nonsense is unfair to the ODM party and is not a leader but a goon. The work Junet did for Baba, very few can do. If you are a top leader who served with Junet and you believe his spoiled campaign as you watched, why didn't you raise the matter then? Why now? If you are cleaning Raila's team, then it must be the entire team of lazy men and women who think power is given. You are all supposed to help him win. You all failed. Stop sacrificing Junet or tell us which mistake he made. Caleb Amisi is one of the few people who really campaigned for Raila Odinga. That's why I picked him. Let me also pick Olekina. What is Olekina is saying? Olekina, my friend Olekina, what is he saying? This is what Olekina is saying about this story. This is what Olekina is saying. What's the projected endgame in this? Should we not be building our party? ODM, Junet, this is not the way to go. It is wrong. Again, based on his tone, it seems he also believes that someone sponsored this story, and that's why he's asking about the projected endgame. Now, let us go to Joho. Ali Hassan Joho. What is Ali Hassan Joho saying? This is what Ali Hassan Joho said, because you know Hassan Joho has been also missing, but he came with this completely unnecessary and uncalled for. He has attacked Junet, ODM party, and Makau Mutua. Now, for me, I also tend to think that this headline was sponsored. The truth of the matter, and I shared this with Junet Mohammed during those times severally, that if Raila Odinga won the presidency, he was going to take the credit. But if Raila Odinga was not going to win the presidency, he was going to take all the blames. And he assured me that he was willing to take the blame should anything go wrong. I want you also to listen to Babu Wino at some point explaining how or why Raila Odinga lost.
Agents were supposed to be in Central. Do you know the reason why agents withdrew from their work in Central? They were agents. But agents were told that they were going to be paid in batches, at different times, in different proportions. In the morning, they were supposed to be sent money. In the afternoon, being sent money. At the time of counting, being sent money. But in the morning, intentionally, Money was not being sent. What do you do as an agent? People are fighting Junet for no reason. I can tell you for the truth of this matter. Do you think the money that was meant for the agents, do you think that money was commensurate to what Junet would have been in Baba's government? Do you think Junet would have left this election just to go so that he forgoes his dream in Baba's government? Probably he could have even made more money in Baba's government than that money for the agents. But there's always somebody who must always carry the cross. That is why that cross was put on Junet's back.
For me, I'm viewing this story in the following ways. Number one, it's about the succession politics in ODM party. And I want to look at it from two angles. There is the Nyanza succession politics, and also there is the national succession politics within ODM party. In Nyanza, there are people who are fighting to succeed Raila Odinga as the next kingpin. They are known already. They are moving around. So these people don't want Junet to feature anywhere or to influence that decision. At the national level, there are also two groups. There are those who believe Joho, then there are those who believe Oparanya. If you look at those who have defended Junet, they are predominantly pro-Joho. Then there's the other camp who don't believe in Junet, and I know it for sure. Wandai, Mbadi, Sifuna. Sifuna actually belongs to that camp of Orengo. They were really opposed to the fact that Junet Mohammed, in fact, during the handshake, even forget about the campaign, all these things began during the handshake, after that handshake. There are people who believe that Raila Odinga needed someone like Orengo, so there were camps. ODM has always had these camps. So what we are witnessing is Raila Odinga's succession politics, both in ODM party, in Nyanza, and at the national level. So for me, that is the first factor. Number two, if you've been keen, Raila Odinga started moving around the country. And the truth is, the response from the ordinary Kenyan was very positive. You saw the defection in Vihiga, in Busia, the defections in Kilifi, in Kilifi of Pa. So ODM as a political party has started gaining stronghold. ODM party had started gaining ground. But around Raila Odinga, there are always saboteurs. They don't want this to happen. So they must come up with something that can distract the focus from that issue. Because I'm sure after that headline, probably Raila Odinga has made several calls to several people just to figure out how all these are going to be resolved. And of course, it's also going to create distrust within Azimio. So it simply means that the trajectory that the party had started taking is going to be affected in one way or the other. Number three is the blame game. Who did not do what for Raila Odinga in the last election? Everybody is blaming Junet Mohammed. Junet Mohammed was simply the director of campaigns. How are Raila Odinga's campaigns? They were okay, in my view. So what went wrong? In Nyanza alone, the members of parliament who were given direct tickets, because in Nyanza, for example, all sitting MPs were given direct tickets. All of them. They never delivered the presidency. The reason they pushed for the direct ticket was so that they could focus on the presidential campaign. Over 700,000 votes slept in Nyanza. But they must find someone to blame. And that person is Junet Mohammed. In fact, someone was telling me the other time that, Lee, sisi tunajua weni Junet's friend, but it's unfair. We can't have an Oria as the person controlling Nyanza, and that's why people never turned up. That is not the truth. The truth is, once they bagged their tickets, they forgot about Raila Odinga. So now it's about the blame game. They don't want to be blamed because they go to the ground. People are asking them, why couldn't you guys protect Raila Odinga's votes? Number 4 is the ODM elections. ODM elections is coming up shortly. They are key positions, and they know that one of the key positions in the party is the director of elections. By sponsoring this story, they hope that Junet Mohammed is going to be unhappy. And once he becomes unhappy, then probably he's not going to have interest in that position again, and someone is going to be appointed. I'm sure they're already lining up their own person. One thing also I know is that if Raila wants Junet to stay, he will stay. If Raila doesn't want him, he will go. And of course, there is also the control of ODM party. Who is controlling ODM party? Is ODM party being controlled by the secretariat, by people like Junet, or by who? Who can convince Raila to take ODM party to negotiate with Kalonzo or to negotiate with Ruto? Who? It's about the control. They don't want Junet Joho axis. Because when they say that Junet Mohammed is not on the ground, well, we all know that after the last election, the first political rally that took place in Migori, organized by Junet Mohammed himself. That was the first political rally Raila Odinga held. Even the other day, I know he was actively involved. And lastly, though it's far-fetched, but you can't also rule out the possibility of Kenya Kwanza hands in all this. They want a strategy of diverting the attention of the country from the current issues affecting the country. There are several issues affecting Kenya as we speak. They might not want they might want to divert the attention of the Republic of Kenya. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.